Imagine wandering through the ancient forests of what is now Utah and suddenly coming face to face with a creature straight out of a fantasy novel, a heavily armored, raccoon-sized lizard prowling under the shadow of dinosaurs. Scientists have unearthed a peculiar prehistoric lizard, newly named Bolg amondol, and it's turning heads and stirring debate far beyond the paleontology community. But here's where it gets controversial. Bolg doesn't just rewrite the family tree of giant lizards. It challenges our understanding of how ancient continents were connected and hints at a much richer diversity lurking in old fossil drawers than most researchers ever expected. The name alone sparks curiosity. Bolg amondol might sound like a villain out of Tolkien's Middle-earth, and that's no accident. The researchers channeled Tolkien's fantasy when christening this discovery. The genus name Bolg draws inspiration from the Goblin Prince in The Hobbit, a fitting tribute considering this lizard's goblin-esque armored appearance, most evident in its rugged skull. For the species name, the team used Tolkien's Elvish language Sindarin. Amon means mound, and dol means head, a nod to Bolg's striking mound-shaped armor plates. Mound-headed Bolg is more than a whimsical title. It beautifully blends cultural imagination with scientific observation, capturing both the lizard's fantasy likeness and its unique anatomy. And this is the part most people miss. Such discoveries aren't always found glittering in the wilderness. They're often hiding in plain sight inside museum drawers. The significance of Bolg lay dormant for years among a jumble of bones labeled simply lizard at the Natural History Museum of Utah. It took the keen eye of Dr. Hank Woolley, whose specialty is lizard evolution, to recognize that these fragmentary bones, from the skull, limbs, backbone, and especially the distinctive osteoderm armor, all belong to a species the world had never seen before. It's a reminder that museum collections, sometimes overlooked, can unlock groundbreaking insights with just a fresh perspective. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Despite their formidable size, fossilized lizard skeletons from the dinosaur era are shockingly rare and often just bits and pieces, a lone bone here, a single tooth there. But Bolg's remains, although incomplete, included enough of the skeleton to paint a vivid picture and trace evolutionary connections. This allowed researchers not only to identify its place on the lizard family tree, but to compare it to other predators of the time. Intriguingly, the sediments of Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument have yielded at least 3 separate lineages of these large predatory lizards, suggesting the forests that thrived in ancient southern Utah were alive with fierce reptilian hunters, creatures that may have stalked dinosaur eggs and small prey with unsettling efficiency. Here's a detail likely to spark debate. Bolg isn't simply an evolutionary oddity. Its closest known relative was discovered thousands of miles away in Mongolia's Gobi Desert. Traditionally, scientists have focused on dinosaurs when discussing prehistoric migrations between continents. Bolg's story raises provocative questions about whether smaller terrestrial vertebrates, from lizards to mammals, undertook similarly epic journeys. Does this discovery reshape our ideas about ancient biogeography? Are we only scratching the surface of what really happened as Earth's continents drifted apart? Bolg's imposing size is worth noting, too. It measured around 3 feet from snout to tail, comparable to today's savanna monitor lizards. That's big enough to make any unsuspecting bystander think twice. And given its armored visage and presumed predatory behavior, Bolg would definitely have been a force to reckon with in Cretaceous forests. The study, collaboratively led by experts from the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles County's Dinosaur Institute, the University of Utah, and Smithsonian-affiliated scientists, underlines the extraordinary scientific potential hidden in museum collections and the importance of preserving paleontological sites like Grand Staircase-Escalante. In fact, over the last quarter century, these rocks have revealed dozens of new species and offered invaluable glimpses into life during the Age of Dinosaurs. Each discovery strengthens the case for protecting public lands as living laboratories for future breakthroughs. This research, published in Royal Society Open Science, was made possible by support from the Bureau of Land Management, the National Science Foundation, and the Dinosaur Institute Fellowship Fund, resources that not only fund research but empower emerging scientists to pursue and publish discoveries that reshape our view of Earth's history. So, let's turn the spotlight onto you. Does the Tolkien-inspired naming of prehistoric creatures help science feel more accessible, or does it risk trivializing serious research? Should fossil collections in museums get more attention from modern researchers, or is fieldwork still king? And here's the real debate. If a mere handful of bones hidden in a drawer can rewrite evolutionary history, how many other discoveries are still waiting, overlooked, in collection rooms around the world? Join the conversation. Does this finding challenge what you thought you knew about ancient life? Drop your thoughts below and let's discuss.